And me and Joanne are in the same office today. Look at this virtual background. Okay. I should give everybody this picture so everybody looks like they're at the same office. We're gonna do that just in
Hey,
case.
Wendy,
Yeah.
Wendy, going to jump back out and with my actual name or is Agent Power at a time?
Oh, okay. You could just
That's
change.
why
You can
that's why you
change
didn't
it.
see me. That's why you didn't see me.
Do you want to rename?
Just rename.
Here, I'll do it for you, Lisa
I love you people.
Pinder. There you
Give me-
go. And
give
then
me
we're gonna make you co-host. She even asked me that. I said, no, that's Dwayne.
Yeah, so
You
we didn't let
can
you.
to Power Huddle. So make co-host.
Okay.
We are all good. Letting everybody in. Welcome to the call. Me and Joanna are working in the same office. Can you tell? I'm just kidding. We're just using the same background. I know. Okay. I put it in the chat just in case anybody else wants to work in our office with us. You just change your little virtual background and we could all be Christmas. Anyway, so fun. Okay.
Out of control.
Hey, welcome to Tech Tuesday. I'm super excited about this day because I've been doing CMA drop-offs for a couple years now since I met Krista Mayshore, and I do it a little bit differently. I run, what's your home worth ads through street text, and then those are the CMAs that we drop off, people that inquired about their home's value. Lisa Pinder, she does it a whole different way and kind of blew my mind the other day. We were on the call and she just nonchalantly said, yeah, I'm working on getting 500 CMA drop-offs done this weekend. And I was like, wait, what? So I'm like, you need to come to my Tech Tuesday. Let's go. And she agreed. So she is here and she's going to kind of tell us about, what kind, what's in it, what she uses for a bag or a box or whatever, and just kind of tells you about everything that she's going to do to where she can successfully drop off 500 in one weekend. Let's go. Lisa Pinder, you are up and you have driving privileges, so you can definitely share your screen at any time.
Awesome sauce. Hey guys, how are you doing? Let's see.
I know they're a rowdy bunch. We mute them upon entry, so but I can see them. They're all talking.
I can see them. Okay. So where are we? Let's go into my Canva. That's where the fun stuff happens.
Okay. All right.
Why can't I see it? Go away.
It says you started sharing screen, but I don't see
You don't
it.
see it?
No, I just see a black.
It's, let me see where I paused.
Yes, Stephanie. I know. I'm excited too. And I got a little sneak peek of what she was doing, but nothing like what we're going to get today. So here we go. All right.
See it now?
We see it now.
Awesome. So one of the things that I will tell you, when I first entered the real estate industry, they were like, oh, you need to do a CMA. And I was like, what is that? And what are you talking about? And where do you get this from? And they gave me 26 pages of charts and graphs. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my absolute life. I just started selling houses yesterday. I don't even know what to say to these people, let alone break down these charts and graphs that you guys have put in front of me. And now I'm super uncomfortable and I don't think I can do a CMA. I think it's the most horrid thing that you've ever come up with. And why did you tell me I had to do this? So now I'm going to go work with buyers because I don't even know how to have a conversation with a seller. That was my first actual thought of what a CMA was. It was like, what? Oh, and you do this presentation and you show the people, and I'm like, how do I tell them what I'm reading? I don't know what's happening. So just let's have the conversation about what a CMA is. It's just a comparative market analysis. It is the most comparable homes to one individual home within a 2-mile radius sold in the past 6 months. And because we are part of a very creative, not difficult, not crazy, not happening market, we are in a creative market where we're going to do things a little bit differently to shake some things up and to keep ourselves going. We are part of a creative market. I don't do 6 months anymore. I do 60 days. Tell me what happened in the last 60 days in the community, and that's what I roll with. But when you speak to an appraiser, they're usually looking at 6 months. And as a listing agent, one of my favorite things to do is when I know the appraiser is coming, I leave him a cute little goodie bag at the house with all the comps that I was banking on him using to get the house sold. Because those are the ones that I feel should have been those comparable. And sometimes they actually read the report and listen. So I think it's a win-win for me. But
That's awesome.
like Wendy said, I'm a crazy person. I clearly have nothing to do on the weekends. And when I don't show houses, when I don't do open houses and all the things, I literally can drop hundreds off. I do not talk to people. I don't like rejection. So I usually do not wait for the neighbors to come out. I'm usually up at 4 o'clock in the morning, riding through neighborhoods, hanging things on people's doors, getting these numbers out because I know it's a numbers game. The more that if I drop 50, at least 2 people should call me. If I drop 100, I should get 4 phone calls. And that's usually how it works. But I only do mass numbers in my farm area, which is actually where I live. It's the type of house that I want to sell. It's the people that I want to be in front of. I work with the move-up buyer in the 700,000 and up price point. That means you need to sell your $400,000 and $500,000 house with me so you can move up to the next one. So I work in the farm where I know I'm going to get the majority of my clients from. And because that is my own neighborhood, it gives me the opportunity to not only research what's going on right around me, so my nosy neighbors can send me text messages and ask me questions, and I can answer those questions. I also hang out at my local coffee shop, the local elementary. We throw movie night. We do Easter egg hunts. I'm compounding the information that's being put out there and building my presence in that area. So it's not only coming to them by the lady who drops weird things at their door. I'm also mailing out postcards. I'm also showing up at your local school. I'm also, in your community. So you're like, oh, that's the girl that just keeps popping up. So that's why I do so many. Where I get my stuff from. A lot of people love RPR, and I have no issue with RPR. I use RPR when it comes to my investors and I need a quick number on the fly. So if you don't have an RPR app on your phone, please download that, use it to your advantage. You can type an address in, you can get a quick synopsis of what they think the ARV value is of a home. I understand that a lot of agents use RPR when it comes to creating a quick summarized a CMA report. But once again, it's another report. I don't like those reports because if you're new to the game and you want to just have a quick conversation, and people usually want to get to the nitty gritty of what you can sell my house for, you want to be able to give them, here's an example, here's an example, here's an example. Your neighbor down the street that you don't think their house is better than yours, they actually have 200 more square feet. They did change their wood floors. They did upgrade their kitchen cabinets, and all of their bathrooms have been done. Let's get very specific with certain people, especially when we're sitting in front of listing presentations. So I'm a big fan of RPR. Once again, when I use my investors, when they come to me and they say, hey, Lisa, I just saw this house. Is it worth my time to come and have a conversation about flipping it? They're asking $175 for it. The ARV is $350. What do you think your intake is as far as renovating the house? What are you going to do? What do you need for your closing help? What are you going to pay me on the other end? All of the numbers that we can quickly come up for. That's my bag with RPR. But like I said, I know a lot of agents like to use this as a resource to pull their CMA reports. But once again, crazy person. I don't like the reports. I use my MLS. MLS does have a CMA report. Once again, it's weird. It's wonky. It's just way too much for me. So the thing that I shared with Wendy is let me stop sharing real quick and get you guys my MLS just to kind of go through it. because I just think it's a better way of doing things.
Yeah, no, I
I just-
liked it. When she showed it to me, I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, could you imagine doing a different CMA for each house? Like her track though, her track is all pretty much the same, right? You said there was only a couple different models, right? So literally she's doing her whole little area, but they're all kind of the same house. So how cool is that? And there's a lot of track places everywhere all over the United States. So maybe that's something that you could think of is like, let's go to this track. There's only 3 different models and, we'll just, do that. So
Sorry, guys. I just
that's
thought
okay. I did that. I thought
because
I
I pulled it up
could.
earlier and I was like, okay, be ready, because you know how Zoom is not your friend at all. It does not share nicely with other information. So I'm going to take you into my MLS.
Yeah, I like RPR for a couple different reasons, but I don't use that either. We use our MLS. We do, we try to make it as tight as possible with what we are looking at.
Exactly. So you guys see my MLS?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So when it comes to pulling CMAs, this is what I show my team to do to make it super easy if you've been selling houses for 2 minutes or 20 years. I literally go to the close tab, whatever area I want to focus in on. I go to the close tab. If you want to get specific about what you're pulling, of course, this is where all the breakdown and get as specific as you want, especially when you're doing an individual CMA. Like Wendy said, I do a lot of blanket stuff. Where I live, it's very cookie cutter. So in the past 20 years to 25 years, they have built this community up, this city up. It's considered USDA territory, so it's very rural. It used to be very rural. Now we have everything under the sun here in this area. We have our Navy Federal, we have our Starbucks, we have all the things here. So USDA still works here, but we do have a plethora of 3-level colonials with 2-car garages. And the only thing that would differ is the older part of the community where you have a lot of split levels and ranchers with basements, for those of you who are familiar with that style. But the only other thing we have is 3-level townhomes with 2-car garages. That's our only other main attractor here. So it makes it very easy for me to pull a CMA every 30 days, because one of the other things I use this content for, this results pull, is to come up with my market updates. So when I'm on my TikTok, when I'm on my Instagram, when I go to my YouTube video, channel, one of the things I will do super quick is just break down these numbers and give them, hard, fast, and quick. In the past 30 days, this is what's happened in my neighborhood. 18 houses sold. They sold at XYZ square footage, $1 a square foot. Have you guys ever watched that $1 Million Listing show? And they're like, oh, the houses over here are $225 a square foot. And I'm like, where the hell did you get that number from? I've never heard that a day in my life. But all of that is right here in your MLS. It's super easy to use. And here, if you can't see, when I click everything that's sold in the past, what did I have in here?
30 days.
No, I have 180.
Oh.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you wanted to do 60.
Let's do it. Let's do what we usually do. I mean, but that is another way to get your last 6 months. But what happened in the last 6 months? So we sold 16 houses in the last 6 months in this area. When you click everything, and once again, if your MLS is a little different, maybe send a chat to your MLS provider and say, hey, I need a results stats for a certain area. Once I pull down how many houses closed in the last 30 days, last 60 days, things of that nature. So as it generates the report,
Joanne, do we have that tab? We do quick CMA, so it
okay.
just average. Yeah, it kind of does this. Okay.
Yeah. So here, I'll show you on my Canvas sheet that my template that I use that I shared with Wendy a couple weeks ago, I usually go here and I look at the different price points and I give you something from each price point. I don't give you the entire list. It's too much. I just want to give you, I want to hit the hot points and make people aware, hey, we do have something in the 3s, we have something in the 4s, we have a 5, and we have a 7, you know, things of that nature. We do. The only thing that sometimes kills it for me is sometimes when the new construction don't enter every single home they've sold. And if a new agent comes on board and they sell a new construction home and don't realize that it's not attached to a listing, that they have to go in and manually put it in the MLS to be able to receive their credit for the production year with their local association. So that's just sometimes, so that data could be missing here, unfortunately. Because I know we have a couple of $900 million properties that are not on this list that I know for sure sold, but I can't create them because I didn't sell them. So just to give you a gist, like I said, I use 4, and when I show you on the Canvas sheet what I'm talking about, you'll see I just pulled 4 quick ones here. You're going to get the average. So my average line is where I'm focusing all of my attention on, just to give everybody a nice snapshot of what goes on in our actual community and what's happened in the last 60 days. But also, this is something that I would have a conversation with my appraiser about when it comes time to seeing where I want the comps to fall. When I'm sitting down with a seller and I say, look, this is your neighbor here on Bill Hill Road. They live 3 houses down from you. This is how much square footage they had. No, I'm sorry, that's the year built. This is above ground square footage. And then this is what they started at, and this is what they actually sold at. What are the differences in your house? So we can be very specific, because the big blanket CMA is to get in front of 1 or 2 people for every 50 you drop. That's the whole intent. I just want to give you a sneak peek of the community so you can give me a call because you want to know more. If I show you someone that's close to you and near you, you know, and because I do know this community back and forth, I know how to kind of pick out what I want to show everyone when it comes to these reports. And like you can see here, the close percentage, how close do we close to the list price? Is super important when you're sitting in a listing presentation. And you can say, hey, most of the people that have listed in the past 30 days, they've closed very closely to the number. So we don't want to go too high. We don't want to go too low. We want to stay right in this little comfort zone. And I'm showing you all of the, and when I do my detailed CMAs, I will print out every picture of the listing just so you can see the flooring they used, the countertops they used, if they did every bathroom in the house, all of the things. It's super important that we do that, because people are very curious about it. Because once again, it's the neighbor. My house is better than yours. I don't know how many of you have ever experienced your neighbor comes over to ask you a question, and then they start looking around your house and say, hey, when'd you put those floors in? What's the name of that? Did you get the same one? And because the builder that built these houses, it's all cookie cutter. I know which house it is when I'm looking down the street versus what other model they were offering at the time. And people are still curious about what your particular house looks like, because it's a secret competition. Y'all know, with the grass cutting and all that stuff, who has the best grass, who decorates the best at Christmas, all the things. So here you'll see you got the 40 days on market. That's our average time frame. Our numbers have gone up drastically in the past year and a half. And from these numbers, every time I pull them on a monthly basis and create my CMA, I also create an Excel spreadsheet that I can say January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So when I'm also sitting in a listing presentation, I can tell them this is how the year started, this is where we are now, and these are the fluctuations we've seen. So we want to be very smart in how we list our houses, because we have all this data that's showing us what the neighborhood has trended and done over and over and over again. So any questions about this, this poll? And once again, it's in your CMA. You should be able to be as specific as you want. If you're not like me and you don't have a ton of colonials, but you want to just do a report on ranchers, you just want to do a report on split level homes, you want to just do a report on condos, however it is that your neighborhood fits, it's a great way to get in front of a ton of people without doing individualized reports until the people actually pick up the phone and say, oh my God, this is pretty cool, I need to know more. I need to get in front of you. And of course, we don't like to give out numbers until we sit in front of them anyway, because we don't want them to call everybody else under the sun and get different numbers. We want that opportunity to be in front of them.
Right.
Susan
And
Johnson?
this isn't what she drops off. This is just where she gets her numbers.
Yes,
Just to clarify.
to make it easier. Yes, Susan.
Hi, Lisa. Good to see you.
Good to see
Hey,
you.
so I have not been doing these yet. I of course have heard them on coaching calls, all that kind of thing. I guess my biggest question is, I mean, 50 a week. So when you drop off, I mean, are you using the boxes and doing that whole thing with, the full report?
So
Well, because that's
let
going to
me
get
go
pretty
into that.
costly.
No, I do not. I do not. I operate in my mind off of a single mom budget. I have been somebody's mom since I was 15 years old. So I get very creative with every dollar that I spend. I do not play with my dollars like that. One, because I do so many, I don't know if you guys have seen them. If I have an example, I am so sorry. It didn't
I mean,
know.
Lisa, I use Cloud CMA. I mean, would dropping off a cloud, even that though is like 25 pages long, unless I just, cut out photos and
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
too
that.
many. Oh, that's too many
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
I can't do it.
yeah. So I'm just
Too
thinking,
many.
uh,
My
how do
report
you
is
do
4 pages. Mine is four
Okay.
pages. It doesn't even have to be 4 pages. What I use is if you look on Amazon and you look up the 9x6 newspaper bags, I order those by the hundreds. I take my reports and I fold them in half and I slop them in a bag. My obsession with them is the fact that I can hang them on a door, any type of door, whether it's that pull handle or it's a circular knob. I can hang those up. They don't get wet in the rain. My information is covered and I can move on about my life. And you can see through the package because I've used some nice colorful print and a nice colorful picture of me standing on the front. Make yourself as big as you can possibly make yourself. Give people a reason to look at it, look at the information. And I always fold it to the point where you can see me on the outside or see a house on the outside or something to that notion. I never give you blank pages through that package. Now, when I go in front of you and you call me for your personalized listing appointment, I have canvas bags with my team information on it, and I do stock that. That's the goodie bag. We call it the listing goodie bag. We put all kinds of good stuff in it, but I need you to call me before I create that type of content for you.
Okay, so it's going to be more than just a market update you're putting on each one, because I mean, we do market update door hangers, stuff like that. So it would be more than a market update you're putting in there. Is that what you're saying?
If you call me, yes, I'm going to put my book in. I'm going to put a more updated CMA because you've called me at a different time than when I actually dropped it off. Because if you call me 2 weeks later, the numbers have changed. So I need to give you a new updated thing. I need to give you my marketing report. I need to give you my seller guide. I need to give you my book. I need to give you all the things. Now I'm gonna drop you a coffee mug off and a tea bag telling you it's time to calm down. I can list your house. That's what we
Okay.
do once you call me. I'm not putting all my dollars into the big drop. I'm keeping it as
Okay.
inexpensive as possible, but I'm giving you content and I'm giving it to you quickly, not a long drawn out process.
Okay, so it's essentially, I'll let somebody else talk. It's essentially though a kind of a market update. You're doing the big drop 50 a week.
Mhm.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then when they call you, then you go deeper and give more.
And I go
Okay.
deeper. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, Lisa.
Miss Selena, what's your question?
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Lisa, for doing this. I'm sorry, my dogs are tap dancing in the background. But basically, you're speaking my language because that's exactly what I struggled with being a seller's agent. I've always been a buyer's agent, and 2023 said, oh, you're going to start doing listings. So based off of that graph that you were showing, you look at that average line right there, and that's where you kind of get your number. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Always the average line.
Yeah, we have that same tool. I just didn't I've never been shown how to really use that. So thank you for doing that.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
So,
Can you raise your hand?
Oh, sorry. I
No
did not
problem.
raise my hand. I
No problem.
apologize.
That's okay.
Raise my hand now.
Okay.
Back to your CMA, do you pull out those outliers on when you look at your 40 days on market? Are you pulling, like, there's a couple of them that are like they had a huge amount of market time, and if you pull those two out, your market time would change.
But I'm just saying, I'm just pulling them out to give you a better example of what may be closer to you. Because if I go to an $800,000 community, which we have here, and then I only speak about a $300,000 house, it doesn't resonate with them. That's why I give them something from every category. I give them every style of the homes that we offer in the entire city. So they feel like, oh, well, I know where that is. This is closer to me. This is closer to the style of house I have. I try to give you something in the 2,000 square foot. I try to give you something in the 3,000, the 4,000, and sometimes in the 6,000. I try to give you a variety of age of home, style of home, so people can feel like this is something that they connect with and understand better when it comes to where I'm getting my data from and what data I'm speaking to.
Okay, let's let Lisa get through the rest of her little presentation and we'll answer questions, okay?
So when it comes to, like Susan said, she does 25 pages. I do 4.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's, and this page, the second page that says hello, it's not even a part of my package. I don't even drop that every single time. And I usually do the 4-page when I've never went to a community in this area before, because I have probably about 30 subdivisions that I can hit in my zip code, my immediate zip code. And that's not even touching on the entirety of the county, that one of the counties that I work in. So this just basically says, hello. It's a picture of me. I'm telling you all of my stuff. I got all my credentials on the bottom, all of my access to social media. Scan here to search for homes. I have another QR code inside of me standing in front of one of my communities. And I'm like, hey, I'm also a resident. Let's talk about why I love living here, the things that, attracted me to this neighborhood. And if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call me. This is the last house I sold in the community, just to kind of show them that I'm there. And if you've seen my sign, this kind of connects the dots again, because now not only did you see me, you see this paper, you might get a postcard from me in the mail with the EDDM push. Then you might have seen me at the annual Easter egg hunt at the local elementary. You may have seen me at the Starbucks right there where everybody knows I hang at. So you see me, you see me, you see me, you see me. And then next thing you know, you'll turn around, you get a market update on my YouTube video. You may catch me canvassing a community on my YouTube video or on my TikTok. And people have sent me messages and they're like, hey, you were just at my kid's school. You helped feed the teachers breakfast. Yes, that was me. You see me in different ways, so that you keep popping up in different, opportunities. And like I said, I only do 4 pages. This is a little bit of a different look at the letter, and you're more than welcome to use it. And this is from a Krista thing, I believe. Just the marketing strategy, just the bullet points on how that goes. I take 1 page and I leave, and I show you somebody actually believes in me and they worked with me and they actually like me. So let's talk about what the testimony was from that person. And then here we go. This is where I go and I pull 4 different houses with different square footages, different price points, so people can see that something similar to mine has sold recently and she knows about it and she has this information at will. It's just a little map of where I live. These are I will send you a brief snapshot of the 14 homes that sold in our area in the last month. 44 homes are currently active in all of Accokeek. Average days on market, the list price to sold ratio, average sold per square foot, and the average sales in your community, including townhomes, because I think it's very important that people understand that this could be a different number that could bring us down a teeny bit. If people care about it. But the new construction townhomes here in our community are pretty much high 400s, 500s, depending on the floor plans and who built them. Just once again, all of my information, and if I get to the point where I don't need to say hi every single time, I can just do this 1 sheeter and drop this at people's doors, and I could be done. And that gives you everything you need to talk about.
Isn't this amazing, you guys? Like, seriously, how simple is this? And doing one little area with a bunch of other little stuff, like I just love this.
Yeah. Hey, Darcy, what's up?
Awesome.
Darcy, you ready? Whoa.
You're,
Any kind of like tracking, like tracking information on these to see if people, because I think they talked about QR codes in like Joe's group or something. So I'm just wondering if you do anything like that.
Wait a minute, say it one more time for me because I lost you a whole lot of way in there.
yeah,
Oh,
you're,
sorry.
do you have an earpiece hooked up or something and it's laying somewhere else? Cause you're really faint.
I hope not. I
Oh,
don't think so.
You're clear now. You're
Um,
clear now. You're good, Darcy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. I was wondering if you did any kind of like QR codes to track any of like your drop-offs. I missed the very beginning of the presentation, so I wasn't
If
sure
I
you
use a
said you did that,
dynamic,
'cause I think.
if
Oh,
I
okay.
use a dynamic, yes, I would. I don't use dynamic. I use the ones that's right in Canva. And what I do is I track the notes of the people that call me. I call and say, hey, what part of the community you are in? And they're like, oh, I live over by, the Giant. And I'm like, okay, gotcha. So I'm writing your information down every time I talk to somebody. My notes in my phone is full of information because we're always on the move, always on the go. And how do you get a chance to write down all the craziness that comes back? But I probably should be more diligent about tracking the people that actually look at it. I truly and honestly, I'm not wrapped up in the result. I am not wrapped up in who calls me, how many people call me, if they're engaged, if they actually like what they see, if they throw it in the trash. I don't lose any sleep over it because I know my numbers are always going to be 50 dropped, at least 2 phone calls. That's all I care about. 50 dropped, 2 phone calls. You call me and you say, hey, don't step in my front yard ever again in life. I saw you on my camera. Cool. I don't even know where the hell your house is. But okay, great, fine. But you called me and you said, oh my God, this is really cool. This is really different. I'd love to talk to you again in another year. Sure. I'll just casually drop cool stuff off at your door now that you've identified yourself. But I mean, that's just, I probably should track it better. I just try not to get wrapped up in the outcome. So I don't feel like, oh, it's never working. This is stupid. Why am I still doing it? When people actually do want the information. And, we do have stalkers that watch us for 6 months and then they call us out of the blue and say, hey, let's talk. And you're like, where the hell did you come from? So that's the thing. Thank you, Miss Darcy. Miss Mary, what you got?
Thank you.
Hi, Miss Lisa. I am in Florida and we have most of our communities are gated communities. And so I kind of face, the fact of, okay, I'm going to have to mail these on here.
Mhm.
Have you ever had to mail and have you had luck? Do you put it in a special envelope? Tell me what you do if you need to do a mail.
I just put it in the gold envelopes. I am in my home office, so that works. So I usually get a gold envelope. I might do a cool sticker with my logos on it or something like that, and just attach it, an Avery label, nothing crazy. And that's it. I just send it to them by mail. And one of the things that I'm starting to see more here in my own community are the community mailboxes, where there is people are preventing you from coming, harassing them in that manner. So mailing is cool too. It's just going to cost you a couple bucks. That's why I'm a big fan of EVDM, to hit more people really quickly, especially in a community where they're, kind of blocked off. Especially we have gated communities here too that I have to get creative about coming in.
Have you had, and I know you said you don't track your success, you just know that 50 means two phone calls. And so do you find that the mailers give you less than the results than you expect?
Yes.
Okay.
My EDDMs give me less results. But I know if I send out an EDM drop, I'm usually hitting 1,500 houses in a day. And it's just a matter of me just keeping my face in front of the people, as opposed to saying, oh, nobody called, nobody scanned the QR code, because we do have QR codes for my lender on my postcards. And I know he gets phone calls, so it's always a question. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Laura.
Laura, you are.
I was just curious, what type of, so I've never done a CMA before. I just got my license. So I am like green, and poor. So what kind of
Amen.
paper do you print this on? I'm just curious.
Just regular paper. I go to Sam's Club and get a nice ream of it. And they got great prices at Sam's Club, and the paper is really good paper. It really feels amazing. I'm always
Okay.
just clip it
I know
together.
Krista had in
Paper.
her, she had mentioned making sure it's on, really good paper. And I just thought, oh my, that's going to get expensive.
No. I go right to Sam's Club. I love the quality of the paper. Target, but Sam's Club has been a go-to for me. The
Okay.
paper feels really good. It's nothing.
Obviously it's all
crazy.
color. So you must have a really.
No. You don't get.
Oh, okay. That's nice to hear. So you're doing it in black and white then?
Yeah, most of it can be black and white, hence my headshots are black and white. The whole outfit was white. It sometimes, once again, work within your range, build yourself up, start somewhere, get it out there, just start somewhere. People usually aren't wrapped up in the fact that you don't have these, things. It's you're becoming the person. I literally started doing this years ago, and the guy said, "Oh, you're our neighborhood realtor." I said, "Sure." I never met that man a day in my life, and I didn't even live in that particular community. But if he believed it, I wanted him to go with it. And that's
Right.
when you start showing up in that way, people believe it.
I guess part of my apprehension is I don't even know if I'm sending out the correct data. So before I actually put my name out there on something like this, it's like, I don't even know if I'm pulling the right information. So,
But I'll tell you this, if you do it, don't wait 2 weeks to deliver it.
right. Uh-huh.
Don't hold on to it and procrastinate over it and lose sleep over it. Just make sure your contact information is on target, and know that things fluctuate and change. And there are some little caveats at the bottom of my template. I'll share it with Wendy again, so you guys can have access to it. But it's just like, hey, if you're already working with somebody, this is not a press. It's just some information share, things of that nature. This is when the information was pulled. So if your neighbor house sold yesterday, I don't have access to that yet. That kind of thing. So I wouldn't stress myself about it. Keep it light, keep it fun. Just get out there and get information in front of people. I think that's the biggest part of it for me.
Okay.
Cool beans.
Whew, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sherry.
Hi, I got a couple questions. What do you put anything else in the bag besides the CMA? Any little goodie?
If I'm feeling real cheesy, as my youngest daughter tells me, I could probably put a thing of Smarties inside, and with a little tag that says it's a smart time to buy a house or sell a house. I could put a blow pop in there and say the real estate market is blowing up. I can get cheesy, honey. I am horrible when it comes to this foolishness. I will do the thing. But I'll tell you the fun part about putting things like that in the bag. It weighs the bag down so it doesn't fly away off when it's
That's nice. Yeah.
A blow pop will hold you for a moment.
Do you get your steps in, or do you pay someone else to deliver them?
I had a runner. She disappeared on me, so I do get my steps in a lot of days.
Okay. And how much on average are your print costs? Do you print them at home, or do you take them to like Kinko's?
I have a monster printer here.
Okay.
At my house. My husband gifted me, so I don't really spend a lot of money.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
Alexandra.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for this. This is awesome. Okay, so my quick question is, we'll just say 50 houses. You do your 50 houses and you drop this off. When do you drop them off something again? And is it different? And then at that point, you just do the one pager?
I try to do something different. I may try to talk about something going on in the neighborhood, so I'm not stale and it's not staticky. I also may speak to neighborhood events. If I'm throwing something, I'm definitely the Easter egg hunt that we do at our local elementary. The grade there is K-8, so we're getting they have 1,500 kids that go to that school. So that's the feeder school for my particular community. So when we're having an event in the neighborhood and it's applicable to kids, we definitely share that information. Maybe just a quick just sold on something we just touched on in the community. I want to share that with people. Just different opportunities to get in front of everybody. We're in the midst of the holiday season. Do you go tell everybody where they can go see the best lights? Who in our community has the best lights? What's the houses you need to roll past and see what they put out this year? Because we do have some very impressive light presentations. Heather, what's Heather's last name? Wendy.
Oh,
Curly hair Heather. No, curly hair Heather.
curly hair Heather. What are you talking?
She's in California.
Oh,
Heather Jones.
Heather Jones.
Heather Jones. Thank you so much.
Heather Jones.
Thank you. She just did a Google map and she's highlighting everywhere you can go in her community to go see amazing lights. And then, you know, maybe that's something you can drop off. I mean, think of what time of the year you're in. Where do you go do the hay bells and Halloween, all the things, you know, 4th of July, what are the different things that are going on? Do you host a community event? You know, it's just, you know, come up with something creative every single time you come back. I usually like to come back in a month. So I have a whole list. It says, hey, you just went here and you just dropped off, you know, a market report. Now you need to go back in a month. And I have triggers on my phone that tell me every single time I need to do something new.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Lynn.
You just answered all my questions. How often do you do rotations? And do you drop off something different each time? So thank you for answering.
Yes. Yes, I do. Petcha.
Yes, that was my question. How often you do the CMA drop-offs to the CMA? So, and actually I just started doing CMAs and I dropped about 450 plus like 3 times cards and I got 0 phone calls and 0 interest.
Okay, but you're wrapped up in the results, huh?
Say it again?
They don't know you. They don't know you. When are they going to start knowing, liking, and trusting you? I know half of us are with Kristen. They don't know you, so you're wrapping it up into one time. Trust me, it's amazing to us as realtors. The average everyday person don't really give 2 craps about what's going on in the market if it's not their time. It's not the thing. It's not on their brain. I literally mailed out to everybody in my neighborhood during COVID. Hey, if you're thinking about moving or, you know, whatever, give me a call. 2 people called me. 3 months later, I met one of my neighbors at a yard sale and he said, I'm thinking about moving. Hey, you're the lady that mailed me something 3 months ago. It wasn't on his mind when I sent it to him. So you gotta remember, you gotta keep getting in front of people until it's that time, until that pain point hits, then you'll get some action. Until it's in their mind, until unfortunately the divorced couple is just tired of being together, then they're going to call you. Until the kids need to go to a different school, until my job has made something shake, then they're going to call you. You're wrapped up in the result as opposed to just doing the action. Because if you're being consistent with it, it'll catch. It's just how much time and energy and money do you want to put into it? That's the question. That's why I keep it as simple and as basic and inexpensive as possible so it can get done. That's my main objective, to get done.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not farming my neighborhood because it doesn't make sense, you know, it doesn't sell enough homes, you know what I'm saying, to farm this area. So I have to start with a different neighborhood.
Okay. I mean, as long as this is a neighborhood you actually care about, do you think?
Okay.
I thought of that in the last place I lived in because like nobody wanted to sell because they loved it there so much and they basically had to die in order for me to get a listing. But I just kept mailing to them. I was like, these are all single story homes with 3-car garages and no HOA. Like these are my people.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept farming and farming and farming. I lived there for 2 years and I ended up getting like 5 listings out of it before I moved.
Yeah.
And those are people that never wanted to move, but someone always has to, you know, they do get old, they do get divorced. I mean, like things happen. So
things happen. Just got to be.
I mean, when I started, you know, my first like 100 homes on one long street, I just chose it. There were like 3 listings, and I was like, next chilling thing should be mine. I will just keep walking there, dropping my stuff, and keep farming there. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just keep
that's
keep working it and come up with different ways to get in front of them. Miss D, what you got going on? I love your city.
Uh, you love our city?
I love your
It's
city.
a gorgeous city, but it's a little complicated city, which is actually the question that I have. So within one block in the city of Chicago, I can have 5 different property types. So there's no uniform homes. One single family can be 1,200 square feet. The other can be 3,000. But there I also have mix of condos, duplexes, triplexes. And so it's obviously not as simple as where properties are more uniform. What do you recommend like doing in a case like
Could
that?
you do 3? Could you do, because I know somebody else that sells, and then she said the same thing. Could you do 3 different blocks that speak to the different things going on in your community? Can you speak to, hey, we got condos that are going this range? Can we speak to the what do you get? You guys call them flats, what the flats are doing? Because you got 2 bedrooms, the 3 bedrooms, the 4 bedrooms, and all the things. Can you speak to all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe I can just speak to specifically single family homes and say single family homes in the area are selling from this range through this range. It won't probably speak to them, but they may find themselves within one of those price points, right?
One of those price points, exactly. Yeah. And just just break it up for them.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much. And then my second question was, because I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, but I've never farmed a neighborhood. And so what are the good turnaround numbers? Like what number of homes do you think should be selling annually for this to kind of make sense? And I heard Wendy saying like nothing was selling in her old neighborhood. So the neighborhood that I selected had 50 homes. Well, it's not really a neighborhood, it's a part of a neighborhood. There were 50 homes that sold in the last year. Is that sufficient?
How big is the community?
Wow, I have no idea,
That's what
honestly.
you're basing it on, how big the community is, how much of it you have to market to get to the number of people that have actually sold in the community. In my immediate community, where my house is, the neighborhood with the same name houses and all that good stuff, it's 150 homes.
Oh, yeah, there's thousands of homes in this area. There are thousands of homes.
Well, see, in my immediate, right in my same subdivision, it's 150. I've sold 5 of those in the past 3 years. But right outside of me, I've got 700 homes. The neighborhood next door is another 900 homes. Across the road, I've got another 500 homes. I've got more communities, but if you talk right here, you got to figure out what your actual farm will be, how many you're going to hit on, on that track. And those are the people you're going to stay in front of. But I would think you, from my understanding, people that I've always heard it say, at least do 500 to 1,000 homes. So you can really get in front.
A month or?
No, because I mean, I do 50 a week. I'm not hitting them every, I'm trying to get in front of them, but if I do 50 a week, I'm breaking it down little by little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have escrow companies in Chicago?
Well, we do have title companies in Chicago, but we work with attorneys who work with title companies.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, on my escrow company, all I have to do is tell them what I want. They'll like, I think the percentage is 6 to 7% turnover is really good, and they can help you. They can help you find a neighborhood that does that, and then if you want it, then go there. But
Gotcha.
I don't know how attorneys work. I don't think they help you with that.
Yeah, no, attorneys won't be dealing with that. But I have a Remind which helps me see
Okay.
Yeah. Remind would help you too.
If someone owned a home. And so I don't know like if that even makes sense, because then like, going from one house to another and across the street, or just like every single
do the whole thing if you're gonna do the whole thing though. Like
just do every single family home rather than like trying to figure out. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, that makes sense.
Susan, did you have another question? You're muted.
Still muted.
No, You good?
Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, a couple questions. I love your template there for the 4 pages there. Is that a template? I do recognize some of the stuff from Chris's, but is there, because I can recreate it, but boy, would it help if there was a template
It is a template,
ready.
yeah. Like I said, I'll share it with Wendy.
Lisa's
So-
gonna share it with me and we're gonna put it in the replay email. So Joanna posted the link to get, if you've already filled it out for the Tech Tuesday replays and you get the replays, don't fill it out again. But if you haven't, the link is right there. The bomb link. Anyway, fill that form out and then we'll get it to you. So
Okay,
yes.
fantastic. And if it helps, I saw some comments in the chat. So I have farming was how I launched my business many years ago. So I started farming on my own first, just walking my farms, which is really good because you really get to know your neighborhoods. But eventually, as the business did pick up, I did hire it out. And caution would be, in my opinion, not to pay somebody per hour. I can tell you, I've walked so many farms, like you can walk a track home farm in about 100 homes in an hour. If as long as it's not got a lot of hills, once you really get to know that and you hire somebody on, then you pay them per door, not per hour. And then you're going to have to make sure, sadly, that they're doing it and they don't just, put 5 on a door. I've actually farmed myself where I saw somebody else who farmed and there you see 4 or 5 door hangers on one door because they paid somebody and they weren't watching their work. It's kind of sad, but true. If you have a title rep, you can get in touch with, because I've been working very closely with my title rep. When somebody asks the question about how many homes and is considered like a good number of sales, the turnover ratio is something you'd want to look at. And years ago, I would be looking for, 6 to 8% of a turnover ratio. But with the market shifting now, there's not as many listings. And now people, our inventory is so low, we're seeing turnover ratios more in like 2 to 3%. So when I see a 4% turnover ratio in a neighborhood, that's a good farm to get into. But they're going to be, it depends upon your market to answer that one question somebody said of how many homes per year of being sold would be considered good. Key is the consistency. And like Lisa said, it will turn up and the markets are going to shift and change. Just stay consistent. And those are some of my best tips right there, if that helps.
I mean, because if you walk into a neighborhood that's 200 homes and you get frustrated after a year, it probably wasn't enough to really get yourself, to catch the fire that you're hoping to catch. But a bigger community gives you more people to get in front of and really plant your base.
Yeah, I started with 500 homes. Then I started dominating that 500. I moved to 1,000 homes, dominated that 1,000, then took over another 5. I ended up with 2,000 homes that were very consistent. And, and I've kept it, just listed, just sold, market updates, pretty much very consistent. Yeah, and it was more than once a month. I mean, honestly, I was sick of seeing my own stuff, but that's kind of what it takes. They say you have to see you at least 8 times before they're ever going to know your name. So it's just that's why they call it farming. It's it takes time to nurture it to grow. But if you just go one time and then you stop, you just threw your money away. So that's why I'm very conscious of what I spend. And Lisa, fabulous job. I love that.
Thank you. Miss
Awesome.
Meredith.
Good stuff. We're down to like the minute. So we have Meredith and then Crystal, and then we got to hop into the VIP Zoom room. So
Miss Meredith.
I won't take time because you've kind of answered most of my questions. I missed the very first of it because it was on a phone call. But so Remime and your title agent is probably the best way to get the addresses and of everybody that you need to target in your neighborhood.
If you want to get deeper, if you're looking for a certain stat, I would definitely use Remine. If you're looking for a certain stat, like the most eligible people to sell their home in the next 6 months because they've been there for 25 years or something to that notion, you're probably going to need Remine in your title rep. I'm just canvassing the whole thing. I'm just trying to take the whole community over.
Yeah, I live in a pretty nice little laid back neighborhood that's got full of ranches that is turning over. So
so just instead of trying to get everybody's names and addresses and stuff, you just start walking and dropping. Walking and dropping, right, Lisa?
Yep.
And then
Miss Crystal.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know where my screen went. I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, so that's good. You can hear
We
me.
can see
All
you.
right.
Don't do anything crazy.
So I did see everything just until anyways. So I had a question on your paper. You said you could order on Amazon 9x6. Did you say paper or plastic bags?
The plastic bags, the clear
Plastic.
newspaper bags.
Your
Just,
plastic.
it's, I think the 9x6, it's got a little keyhole to it. So you can drop it in. I'll fold the 4-page in half and drop it in, but I would also make sure that people see color when they see the bag.
And
So they can
that's
take
when
it
they're
and say,
seeing your advertising, your marketing through the bag.
Yes.
So
yes,
and is it like just clear white, or do you use different colors? I guess. And,
no, just clear.
just clear.
An
And
old
then
newspaper bag.
and then when you do your envelopes, you said you put like logos. Are you like putting stickers? Or are you printing on those envelopes? So like put
Avery labels. I use a lot of Avery labels.
Avery labels. What are those?
You know, like mailing labels.
Oh, just mailing labels
Mhm.
with like a personalized return label address. Okay,
Yes.
I have some. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, just the regular sheets they're called Avery templates.
Yeah, that's the brand. It's called
You
Avery.
can buy them at Walmart.
Yeah,
There she go.
or Amazon.
Crystal,
Yeah.
look at the screen. Lynn is showing it to
Can't
you.
see. I don't know what happened.
Oh, poor thing. She
I
can't
don't
see
know.
something's
I'll have
happening.
to figure it out. So,
Oh man.
Okay,
Uh,
real quick, Lynn, you got a question, Lynn?
You get more phone calls or do you get more things from your QR code? And I just scanned your QR code, so I'll figure that out. But where do you get more from, QR code or phone?
I get a little bit of phone calls. I get scans on the QR code, people watching, registering on my website, and I get a lot of people that go to my my social media.
Okay, and then when I bought these yesterday, they make labels round for water bottles. There's labels for everything. Just go to
Canva is
Staples.
your friend. Canva is your friend. It'll help you make all the fancy labels in the world. Miss D, last question.
You're muted. Here we go. Unmute.
Where'd she go?
Sorry. How do you create a landing page that your QR code takes to? Is that through Krista Mansure training?
Mm-mm.
No?
It's to my website. It's my KP Core website.
Website. Oh, okay, got
Any website you have should grant you access
Okay.
to have a landing page.
Got you. All right. And then how long approximately does it take to drop off 100 CMAs?
It depends on the community I'm in. If I'm in a townhouse community, I can probably kill that in probably about 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
My townhouses are 4 and 5 linked together like that. If it's a single family home and if it's 2-acre subdivision, it's going to take me a little bit longer. It just all depends. If it's 1/4 acre, 2 acre, it's going to be just a different thing. But
Yeah.
I can knock a lot of stuff out depending on where it is and how it's located. Yep.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. Wasn't this freaking amazing? I am
Welcome.
super excited for this call. And she just broke my record. You just broke my record. We had 66 people on the call. My record is 62 with ad bundles. So yay. You are now officially the leader. Okay, let's go. Anyway, we got to hop into the Zoom room where we're going to do a deep dive into what we learned here on Tech Tuesday. Thank you again, Lisa. Appreciate it. You guys, if you didn't fill out the form so you can get the replay and get the Canva template link. So Lisa, if you could shoot that over to me, that'd be fabulous. And we'll get this to you guys as soon as possible today. All righty. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.